Ooh. Interesting. Judicial findings. I think that's what it said. The jurors' contentions. There was no one else in the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. That flower's fake.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and correlated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can't trust the guild. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pences for years. Well, there's a mistake, right? 4 pences, and they said 20, and then what's her name said 20 pences was paid in total. So there was a 5th person.
The scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor. It beggars belief, and he wasn't even stabbed on the floor.
Whatever, you people. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Oh, you're fine. We just found so much inconsistencies. You're fine.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments though, do they?
Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruto. According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetorics about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to hear anything the defense says.
But then...
They've reached their conclusion by their own reasoning, you see. Your plea will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh dear, I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruto.
Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then?
And from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make their arguments.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. There are the lip jiggles. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Oh, is this when he walks up? Oh, Naruhodo. I understand. Because of the back of the box. The back of the box shows that he's standing by the jurors here. This last panel here, but underneath the take that. I was wondering why the hell he was standing there. And now I know. Alright. The defense's rebuttal.
Or carry Cosmo's sword!
I didn't notice until now. There was no one else in the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
Pit? Do I just pit now? This one? Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. They do. Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear on Silver Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite
quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence.
That it is. A fair and convenient single price. Just the way London's carriages should be operated.
But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts.
Why, man, why?
4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely, 1 person's fare. Oh, look how cute he is with the sword on, the hand on the sword. You look so cute.
1 person's fare.
Oh shit, ow. Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible. There was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Oh, good gracious.
Yeah, you fuckers.
This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword.
The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon? You think I'm not gonna slap a bitch right next to me?
Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus.
Alright then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end?
She's cute. Well, according to my book here, if you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales.
Now hold your horses there, Uncle Toadman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo!
Yeah, boy! Still doesn't make sense, but okay.
This is all very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir, I'm going to do the same. Thanks, maid. Thanks, lady. Thanks, gal. Thanks, girl.
For the love of Mike! Not you as well!
Who's Mike? A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
He's not even looking at her, he's looking up above her. I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo, you did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' mind, we can force the trial to continue. 2 more, actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. Then that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly! You can do it! I kinda wish I knew how her hair was done up.
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with the summation examination.
Actually, I was gonna say, I wonder how her hair is done up because I was gonna attempt to do it, but then I realized that I'm not supposed to be dressing up like her. I'm changing my name to Innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself. Now, what's this one say?
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
Nah. He stuck the chap next to him, just like this. Brazen, I must say, absolutely brazen. Was it him and the old lady? I have simply typed in
Beppo, this trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption, not guilty, I say.
The scoundrel stabbed that poor man on the floor! Yeah, okay, there you go. He stuck the chopper, right? I think so. Those 2 statements are completely contradictory.
What? Explain, Counsel, post haste.
Oh, dearie me! I was only knitting a jumper from my other half. Your other half can't fit in that. What is all this claptrap? What does this contradictory even mean, I ask you? Oh god. We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. And now, out of curiosity, jurors. Juror number 3, or rather. What? Can't you see I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to test me, do you? It was like this! Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just
just like the prim banker said. You're so close to stabbing the lady with a typewriter. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move. Take a look at these 2 drawers. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, they're stabbing in totally different directions. What?
Whoa, bless my stitches! What a muddle!
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh!
But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. I'm a grandma.
The scales. I don't believe it. You guys can't even see the scales from where you're sitting. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use my magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, dark jinx.
Huh? Me?
What exactly is the problem? What of it if 2 witnesses have slightly different recollection of events?
What of it?
Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he sat next to him in the omnibus, and his young Don saw them do it. Now let's say the juror collapsed on victim. Well, sorry, goddamn. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what to say it didn't happen like that?
Who are you calling a daddy, sir? Why, I should take that knife to you! Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this deal to you!
They're ready to kill each other now. You need to pin it. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the 2 witnesses see 2 different moments of the same crime? So, maybe what they saw was that it's not the old lady. The old lady didn't see shit. It's the telling of the witnesses. So Beppo saw someone being stabbed on the floor, and I think maybe what the knife guy saw. No, not the knife guy. Fuck. The banker. The banker. What the banker saw was McGilded going over to help him. Maybe? I think that's what I'm gonna guess. The 2 witnesses see 2 different moments of the same crime. It's possible. That's my logic, but I don't know if that's what the game intends to do. It's true. There's an outside chance of almost anything you care to mention. Exactly the point I've been trying to make. Before you go any further, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, what is it, Mrs. Sato? I think you should have a look through the court record. You see? This evidence makes it quite clear. There isn't even an outside chance of what the juror is saying. Oh, was I wrong? Was my theory wrong then? Is it the fact that he was stabbed only once? Is that what you're gonna tell me? Is that what you're gonna tell me? Single stab wound? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought too hard. Sorry, thank you. How did I miss that? I was overthinking as always. Sorry. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dog chicks? Come on, out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What? What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the 2 witnesses saw 2 different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present himself with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by... Where'd it come from? This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means that these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I concede defeat. Nice. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leading to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won.
Well, not yet, but what are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a lie when I see one. And if that chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair of his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate whatever, and the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Van Zykes, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution if you please. What? Oh man, it's been too long, I don't remember his voice. Then again, his voice wasn't anything anyway. Igiori. Is it time? Are you gonna do it? That was not what I was expecting you to do. How are your gloves not stained? Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hell chalice. You broke your chalice too, dude. It may seem cross to crush into dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes. Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tone no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation, sorry, I keep saying summation. So I honor the deathly silence, and listen to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. He took off his cape. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Oh my god, he looks so skinny without the cape on. Put the cape back on. Witnesses. I trust you heard the summation fuck my life, I keep saying summonation. I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir. Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir. I heard it.
You, sir, on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo. Yes, sir. My lord, sir. If it transpired that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh, mio Dio. Oh.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Yeah, do the thing. Do the thing.
I only carried 4 passengers that night. I swear it. but,
Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He fiddled us on the fair, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
I tell you, I saw McGill stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes, he stabbed him, he did. I think so, yes.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. Fuck my life, I'm so mad I can't get a voice for him. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cousinage. What is that word? Cousinage? Whatever. Beppo, explain yourself!
I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The Guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare?
It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty.
You are been dishonest, coachman.
Or I'm sorry.
You're a disgrace, Beppo! A disgrace! And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild!
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the results come out differently.
Why? No, that figures. Oh! His hair is tied in some way in the back. I wonder what it looks like. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. Absolutely, as I stare at nobody. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He fiddled us on the ferry, did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
Who was the one that said it was the banker, right? I tell you, I saw Miguel stabbing a man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so. Yes.
Oops. I hit the wrong button. Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow, we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts into light.
If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful as they did before.
Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information.
Yes, you're so right.
I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses.
Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason.
Now, I'm just trying to figure out, like, if I press a thing, like, am I still in danger of the jury's changing their mind if I press too much? Like, I'm scared now. I'm trying to think. I think it's one of these two because they say they saw. Who's the one that said? Oops, wrong way. No. Is it Beppo? Beppo's the one who saw him get stabbed on the floor? Maybe I should have pressed this. No. What? Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice-pick grip. I suppose. Really? Really? No reaction? Nothing? Not even from him? Didn't he say something different?
I might have, just put the cart before the horse, maybe.
What's this? What does that mean? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. From him, I guess.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking out of his midriff.
Nothing.
When did he react to things? That's right, yes. And the fellow holding the handle was a famous man. Yes.
So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all.
I really thought I did, but...
I'm trying to figure out if they'll...
When I go over it, get it in my head. No, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I?
Oh, there you go. Hi. How do I do this? A. Put your fucking king, you idiot. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? What? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Some days are like that. It do be like that sometimes. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? I'm gonna say no. I don't know what the answer would be. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping! I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it clear as the Ballarat day. It was a grim scene. I don't mind telling you. Oh, do tell. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that. All right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. New information, please? Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Butcher? Blood-soaked hands? So, am I supposed to present the gloves here, or am I... Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. I love this stance where he has the hand on Kazuma's sword. Kazuma, I miss you. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Ooh, is that the bottom of your cane? I hope not. Ooh, that crunching sound. Ooh, stop, okay. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. But, no, that can't be right. You're the liar here, then. Oh, that's right. You were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is it really the truth? Idiot! It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. I wonder what his voice sounds like in English. Yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only once, but that fact remains. Wait, can I change it? Mid-game? Wait, no. Oh, it doesn't look like I can change it mid-game. Right? I can't change it mid-game. Ah, dang. I was gonna see, because I wanted to hear what they sounded like in English. Okay, that's fine. Did I read this already? I think I did. Idiotic! The victim's blood was on the accused! Idiotic! Whoa. No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that the witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Ah! Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake! My work should be the gold standard! I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of the society don't prevaricate. What? Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. Whatever that word means. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case?
Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying.
Oh wait, I just realized something. There's something we haven't looked at yet. Catalog of people who had borrowed money from the defendant at a high rate of interest. It includes the victim who owed 20 guineas. Could it be that the banker guy's name is in here? Can we open this? This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry.
Oh dear, do you really think we gotta look inside?
Well, it's not as though we know any London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps? Actually, I wonder.
I assure you, we will not find Mr. Sholm's name inside.
Well, let's see what we find. For a second, I thought that said Sholmes up there. I was like, oh no!
Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off.
Ah, goodness!
What is it?
Look at this! Do you see the name here?
Bruce Fairplay. Aha! That bitch owes money! Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually.
Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment.
Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? He borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching.
It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information.
Gotcha, bitch. Fucking gotcha, bitch. Fucking gotcha, bitch. Alright, now we know.
It could turn the tide in this trial completely.
Something to show this man has compelling reason to lie in his testimony. We have evidence. My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reasons to lie in his testimony. I'm sorry, did we not see the evidence of, wasn't it the Baron who presented the ledger? So shouldn't Fairplay know that, like, oh shit, they fucking don't know? Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception to the court. This is a list of the debtors who owed money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims, crippled by the accused's extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently in debt financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owed 20 guineas, not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say?
Oh, the new call. This is he pointed papers.
Well, what of it? It's a conflict of interest, dude. Was that what it's called? Bias? Maybe it's just bias. Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, be sentenced to capital punishment, all outstanding debt which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Cease to exist?
Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? So... Order! 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 Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Why do you even need to borrow money? Aren't you a banker? Did you or did you not see the precise moment in the time in which the defendant is alleged to have thrusted a knife into the victim?
Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony.
Alright, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth in a pinch.
A pinch?
But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on Miguel's hands. Both of them.
And yet, only one of the defendant's glove, which we have here as evidence, is stained.
So you keep saying.
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir?
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens.
Seeing what?
The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What?
What? The wall in the back is so far away from him. How did he hit it? It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last.
Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. I'm very surprised that there's no, like, to be continues. There were so many to be continues in the last case. And how long have we been going? Oh, I forgot I reset the recording, so I don't know how long I've been going. Well, what the witness really saw. There was blood on both hands of the assailants. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment of the stabbing transpired, if that matters.
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard the scream.
Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we all would have seen.
They were hiding in the seat, they were hiding in the seat, they were hiding in the storage.
Well, lo and behold, in truth of fact, not one of you were witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying that we saw the man do it!
That's really not what testimony is about.
Oh, God damn it. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the fact of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord.
Goodness gracious, alright. So...
Am I allowed to press?
I suppose I might say I didn't see the exact moment of the stabbing injuries, but...
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on them.
Oh, I didn't actually see anything myself, though, not until I heard the scream. I'm okay to press, right? You're not gonna keep me from pressing things, right? I'm gonna press him. What the? Don't fucking tip the scale, please. You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands?
Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGill's gloves has any sign of blood on it.
That's right.
The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGill sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir.
He wasn't wearing these gloves?
That's correct, sir. And and I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark color stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see.
I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilld's gloved hands.
There wasn't blood on his hands?
This is probably indeed.
What? Wait a minute.
I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilld's gloved hands. So, when the police saw him, there wasn't any blood on his gloves? So then where did the blood come from?
This must be significant somehow. I'm sure of it.
What? Wait, I'm confused now. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilld's gloved hands. So then what is that stain on the gloves then if it's not? So, not knowing where the stain came from, I guess the idea is that his hands both had blood on it, and then he maybe put the gloves on to hide it or something? Maybe he got the blood from... How big was the stain? I didn't examine the knife. Largest knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Its quality and fancy ornamentation suggest it must be quite valuable. See, it could be a W. It doesn't have to be an M. Look, it looks like a W. I guess it also looks a lot like an M though. I get the feeling that this is probably Mason's? The dead guy? I can't find anything out of place. Oh. An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilld's initial.
And it's beautifully gilded too. So it must be very valuable, I should think. What is it?
Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything.
A W?
Yes, this is one of those, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it.
I'm afraid I don't know at all. But what I'm sure of is that this is an M.
Oh, damn it. Fine. You don't want me to think it's a W? God damn it. Fine. But I think we're at least set to believe that it's... Is it the I don't know. Let's not decide.
That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruto?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I just don't really like blades. You're carrying Kazuma's.
Oh, those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist.
That's not a blade. That's Kazuma's soul. Call the police. Call the ambulance. My kokoro just broke from that. Oh man, I wish I had a friend like that. I could be like, I'm carrying their soul, but I don't want them to be dead, so maybe not. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. It's cute the sheath turns around with me. What? Ugh, that looks like a lot of blood. It looks a lot like blood, I mean.
It surely is blood. The victim's.
An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood.
Did you think it wouldn't?
Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust.
Yes, I do understand.
What kind of sense is that? That makes no sense. We already make jokes about the MW. We checked out the blood. I'm assuming that there's nothing else to look at? I guess. Alright, I'll leave. I'll leave? Okay. Interesting. He's missing a button. I don't know if that plays into anything though. It could just be shoddy. I wonder what I should actually do.
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on them.
I didn't actually say I didn't watch out. Not until I heard the score.
You didn't see anything?
Oh, yes, sir. This is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir?
Shut up! Oh! Shit, I didn't mean to press. Oh, fuck. God damn it, I messed up. If I made Mr. Fairplay, I didn't mean to press on him!
What are you fussing about now?
That last statement appears to have given you pause for thought. I didn't mean to! I pressed A by accident.
Not really.
Oopsie poopsie, sorry. By the way, you always seem to be looking to the side, one way or another. Do you have some affliction?
Not really.
He's not really willing to say anything, it seems.
It's none of your business anyhow.
Oh, thank God it doesn't penalize me.
Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that corridor, or we all would have seen it.
Maybe something with this? And everything you saw of that incident was through the skylight on the roof on the omnibus?
That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin.
Oh? Why not?
It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
It was locked?
That's right! It's a public bus service, for pity's sake! That's not what I call fair play!
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Look at his face in the bottom left.
Okay. Well, I can assure you, I wasn't just looking down. I was glaring, long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed.
So, you saw the door was locked. You couldn't have asked the bus driver, not the bus driver, whatever his fucking name, the coachman. You couldn't ask the coachman about more seats. You saw there was 2 seats. Well, I don't know, whatever. Wait. Did they say that it would be locked from the inside? I forget what did they say about the door earlier when we went in? Open it. Well, let's open the door and go inside. See number. Okay, whatever. I forget. Thought they said that it couldn't. Did they say they couldn't be locked from the inside? Have you seen enough? Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to step out. I guess they didn't mention anything about it locking. Hold up. Wait, let me back in. Sorry. I'm sorry. So there's no way for me to check to see if it can be locked? Like, how do I check without prompting the door to open? Because I assume clicking on anywhere on the door at all is going to make me leave. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not gonna find out if the door can lock or not. It'd be pretty bad if you can lock the door from the inside, I would think. Oh no. I thought we had read something, or we had heard, or we had seen something about that, but I guess not. What's your voice? Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these 2 witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? Oh, you know what? Wait, hold up. Sorry. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I should have checked inside. I should have checked. So the skylight can see... You can't see the fucking seats in the back, you idiots. The skylight, you can't see the seats on this side. Right? That's the idea? Hey, you can't see from the other side, you idiots. Okay. Oh, dumbasses. If you sit back here, you can see on this side, which is where they were sitting, presumably. Yeah. But you can't see on the other side, you dipshits. God damn it. They might not have been able to. Or they could, but you wouldn't fucking think to get up off your seat and turn around, would you? Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the event in the cabin through the skylight on the floor on the upper deck. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you.
What?
Oh, by golly, really? You idiots. Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Ignotti! Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand.
I feel like the problem is like, I feel like I could probably stick to that voice, but the problem is like once I don't talk in his voice, I kind of forget how you do it until I hear his objections.
You will identify the area of this cross-section plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that the potential extra passengers could have been situated?
So here. Wow, there's so much space in here, huh? Look at that. Look at all that extra headroom. Both rows of the seat on the roof face in the direction of the traveler, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other.
Good day to you, sir, and good day to you, sir.
Which means
good day to no one.
the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here.
Oh.
That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one which the victim and his attackers were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Ignotti!
It's quite possible. Some phantom was sitting there.
Your Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. Rejoinder? Man, you guys using words that I don't. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
A name? I don't fucking know, bitch. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? Bitch, what? No! I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? How am I supposed to know? We don't have people in here, do we? What? Who could it be? Magnus? In the other seat, maybe it was Magnus? Are we trying to say that? And then trying to say that the killer was sitting on Mason's side? Is that what they're alluding to? Look how cute he is. Is that what they're alluding to? It couldn't have been Beppa because he was driving. These two were sitting at the top because they're idiots. Wasn't Sasato, obviously. I don't know this man, so maybe he did it. I don't fucking know. Well, they say they saw him, right? But they say they saw Magnus with the bloody hands? But when we saw the fucking, their version, their memory, their drawing, that cutscene part of them sitting in the carriage, it was clearly not him. Also, this could be solved very easily if you let fucking Miguel testify, saying where he was sitting, what's up with the hand stuff, just something, or like why he was sitting in the fucking omnibus and not in his own carriage. There's like, we can glean a lot of information from the man himself, but no one wants to talk to him. No, he's too rich. I don't know. Because am I overthinking again? Whatever, I don't care. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. Got his chalice back. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Oh, are you saying that I was wrong? That is not the lie, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night,
on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... the passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. McGilded? What are you talking about, Consul? That's the name of the defendant. Did I do it right? Did I do it right? Idiot. That's dangerous. You had alcohol there, sir. Very dangerous. This whole courtroom is very dangerous. I'm gonna fucking call the HOA. I don't know. There's nothing to call. Fucking hell. Whatever. It's a game. Still very dangerous. Oh no, I was talking too much and I forgot how it's objection. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks, you already did it. People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Does that look like a man? Does that look like a shirt? I guess they don't fucking see this. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. Oh, his button's always missing. I see. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, Counsel? The defendant's glove, my lord. What? Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Idiotic! Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains. The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting besides the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hand, both of them. Idiotic! And who was this third party? I don't fucking know. Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. Order! 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 What exactly are you postulating? Idiotic! The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused. But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though.
Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
What particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First?
I don't know. I'm afraid I don't remember.
Can you call yourself a hatter? No, you need to object first before I can... Idiot! The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGill, would have undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Or depose the fact? Whatever. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what do you say, Consul? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police.
But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely?
Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it is indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion?
My lord, should we ask Mr. McGill to testify or not?
Yes, ask him to testify. That was what I was fucking asking for.
Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth.
Put your hand down. What are you doing?
The defense would like to call Mr. McGill to the stand.
Do they even raise their hands in England? Britain? Sorry, London? Oh god. Sorry. God damn it. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Yes.
I need a little time to consider this.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGill has to say.
Get the man out here, I say.
It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild.
Oh, hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say. Oh yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, the jury says the man must be heard.
What the fuck this man?
Fuck this old man. Or fuck that man. Whatever. Very well. The court will hear the defendant's third session. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once.
Give that poor man a blanket. Why he's so cold. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear.
I was expecting it to be continued. Damn it! Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilder, have you been listening to the discourse of the day?
Hoity, it's been so long. To be sure I have, my lord.
There are now two matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you on the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police?
Hoity. But yeah, no, this is not in my nature to hide anything at all.
Just answer the question, please. Fuck, I don't remember his voice, whatever, fucking hell.
The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all or keep my mouth shut?
Tell us what, Mr. McGilded?
The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger.
It's true?
Aye, and it was me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened.
You...
What? You let the man go free? Who was it?
Iggy, what was your voice? No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now.
I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you.
What was?
Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in any way involved, you see. Little child?
What?
If the police had known the wee one was there, oh, they'd have assumed she'd have done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord.
Who was the young child of whom you speak?
That, I don't know.
You don't know?
Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Iggy! We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings.
What?
What? Smoke! Fire! There's a fire! Look! Someone's trying to get away! After them! It's no use! Go! I can't see anything through all the smoke! What is going on? It's careful, Mr. Naruto! Cover your face!
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape! Secure the omnibus! I hereby call an emergency recess! Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom! Sorry, I was we were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. There's to be continued, but also what the fuck was that? What happened? It must have been that shield. Maybe? I don't fucking know. Whoever the child is. I don't care if they're a child, they're evil. Must be. I don't fucking know. God dang! Well, I'm gonna stop here for this session because as much as I would love to keep going, I'm starving, as always. I don't know why I always do this when I'm starving, but I'm starving. And also, if I continue playing, I'm probably gonna play until very late, and I don't want that to happen because I have work tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching, and once again, I am sorry for the bad accents, and also I am sorry that I cannot get the vampire's voice well. Get it done good, whatever, you know what I mean. It's too hard to do handsome man voice. So hopefully as we continue playing and we continue seeing him, it'll get better. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe next time you see me, I'll just be doing it. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. Bye!